request, then I am the requester, and Bob, on the other hand, will be the receiver. So from my end, I will be sending a peering request to Bob to make sure that he accept that request. And after he accept the request, VPC peering route will be established. A connection, we will have our up and running connection, and we get a route. And after attaching that route into our route table, all the traffic that is meant for the VPC-B that belongs to Bob will automatically get routed towards the VPC peering ID. So let's understand what I am talking about. The owner of requester VPC sends a request to the owner of acceptor VPC. So if you have access to both of your VPC, let's say you have created two VPCs and you want the peering within your account, you can do that. So you will be sending the request and you will be accepting the request also. But in case to create the VPC peering connection, so you are accepting the request, the acceptor VPC can be owned by you or another AWS account and cannot have a CDR block that overlaps with the requester VPC CDR's block. So having two different CDR block is must. If they have any overlapping in between them, then they will be having a confusion, and peering will not get established. So if you are sending to another owner, another user, then also it will work. If you are sending the request to yourself, then also it will work. You just have to accept, and after accepting, you will get a peering connection. Okay. To enable the flow of traffic between the VPC using private IP addresses, the owner of VPC in the VPC peering connection must manually add the route to one or more of their VPC route table that point to the IP address range to the other VPC, the peer VPC. Okay, so if you want, there's a traffic flow in between private IPv4 addresses also. So if you are able to recall, when we were configuring our VPC and when we were configuring our private subnet, we are able to access our private subnet from within the public subnet by the help of our private IPv4 address. And first we RDP our public subnet instance, and from our public subnet instance we are easily able to access our private subnet instance, because all local traffic is allowed by us. So in case if you want to access your instance by using private IP addresses, then a peering connection route must be manually added. So if you want that your private connection, your private VPC is also able to communicate with the another VPC, then what will you do? You will add the route in the route table. What route you will add? You will basically add the peering ID. So we will see in the lab how to generate peering ID. I will also be explaining in coming slides with detail and with diagrams. So uh, if required, let's go further and understand. If required, update the security group rule that are associated with your instance to ensure that traffic to and from the peer VPC is not restricted. So make sure to double check your security group list. And after VPC peering, we will be doing ACS and other network services. So make sure that when we are configuring, we always go through with these extra settings we have, like security groups. We make sure that we are enabling the services and we are doing the right configuration. So make sure while configuring the instances and while configuring the rules, make sure they don't overlap and contradict the rules which are associated in the security group. Okay, so make sure you don't have any conflict in between the rules you're creating. Multiple VPC peering connection. A VPC peering connection is a one-to-one relationship between two VPCs. So one-on-one relationship, it means that traffic is coming in and going out. For that, we have to add the route. Okay. So you can create multiple VPC peering connection for each VPC that you own, but transitive peering relationships are not supported. You do not have any peering relationship with VPC that your VPC is not directly paired with. So what is the meaning over here of transitive? That if my VPC A is connected with VPC B and VPC C, what it means that if I am in VPC A, I am able to communicate with the VPC C and B, but are B and C have any connectivity? No. But if from VPC B I am accessing VPC A, then I can access VPC C because the routes are allowed, but directly I cannot access VPC B and VPC C. There is no connectivity in between VPC B and C. Okay. So invalid VPC peering connection. Let's see why. What are the cases of invalid VPC peering connection? So overlapping CIDR block. We talked about this. If we have same CDR block, same IP range, then we are not able to communicate. Transitive peering, edge-to-edge routing through internet gateway, edge-to-edge routing through private connections. Okay, so these are some invalid VPC peering configuration. Let's understand each of them. Overlapping CDR block. If my VPC A and VPC B both have same subnet range, then what will happen? Same IP range, sorry. What will happen? They will not have any connection. You can see 17.2.16.0.0/16. This is the subnet association with VPC A, and with the VPC B also the IP range I have associated is 172.6 172.16.0.0/16. So they have same IP ranges. That's why they are not able to communicate. Now coming to the another example, it is showing that if we have two routes, one is primary and other is secondary, what will happen? You can see our primary route is overlapping, then again will not able to we will be not able to communicate because our primary route is overlapping. The IP ranges are overlapping. And in the third example, we can see we have same IPv4 but different IPv6. In that case also, the connection will not work because of the overlapping. So make sure that these invalid configuration, we will not do that. Transitive pairing. So we have talked about transitive pairing. If my VPC A and VPC B is connected and my VPC A and C is connected, what will happen? From my VPC A, I can access B and C, but I don't have any connectivity in between B and C directly. From VPC B, I can send RDP request to my VPC A instance. And from my VPC A, I can send traffic out and access VPC C. But direct VPC traffic going to VPC B, no, that's not going to happen because we don't have any direct route attached. Edge to edge routing through a VPN connection. So over here you can see we have our corporate network and VPN connection, and we are able, uh, can we access VPC B through our corporate network? No, directly cannot, but we can access our VPC A and then we can access VPC B, okay, through our corporate network. Then coming to edge to edge routing through internet gateway. So over here We have our internet gateway attached with our public subnet, public cloud VPC. And in VPC B, we have a CDR block. And can we send traffic out to the internet? No. For that, we should attach a internet gateway with our VPC B also. But VPC B and A have a peering connection, so they both can communicate with each other. But VPC B cannot send traffic out to the internet. VPC B can reach VPC A, but not to the internet gateway. Okay, because for that, the internet gateway should be attached with the VPC B. That internet gateway belongs to VPC A. Okay. Now, guys, I will show you the pricing tab and other pricing pricing for on-demand services. So we will see this before doing the lab. So just may remind that sometime I have slides. I am putting this slide to make sure that I don't forget. But while giving you the explanation, sometime it is not in the flow that I go out and open the tab for pricing and open the tab for on demand pricing. So it's not in the flow. We will do when we configure. If I miss out, because I happen to miss out many of these kind of slide and no one is reminding me, so please guys, do remind me if I ever tell you that I will explain this to you later. So keep track of that also. VPC peering configuration with routes. Let's see what are the route we have to add to make sure that our two VPC are paired and having a connection, are paired and they can communicate. So we have route table of VPC A and VPC B. In destination, we have added the routes of IP ranges. So let's see so local is allowed, and after generating the VP peering ID, we have attached the peering ID with both of the you can see we have attached
VPs.
them, yes, with both of the VPCs. So we are if we forget somehow that we have attached this route in VPC A but not in B, then communication will break, because for that both should have the route attached to them. They will not able to communicate. Okay.
So it is always a two-way communication. Huh?
Yes. One VPC paired with two VPCs. So our VPC A is paired with VPC B and VPC C. So over here we have our VPC route table for VPC A. Destination local is allowed and two peering IDs attached. One for VPC B and another ID for VPC C. Okay. But in case of our VPC B, VPC B is only have connection with VPC A. So one peering ID is attached. That is of VPC A. Okay. In case of VPC C, VPC C is able to communicate with VPC A only. That's why one ID is attached. Local is allowed. Can VPC B and C are able to communicate directly? No, because they don't have any direct peering connection. But I can access my VPC A, and from my VPC A, I can access my VPC C. So if I am accessing my VPC A from my VPC B, I am able to have indirect connection with my VPC C. Okay, two VPCs with multiple CDR paired together. Okay, we have two CDRs. One is our primary IPB IP range, and second is our secondary IP range. So we have two CDR blocks attached with our VPCs A and B and one peering ID. So you can see over here, as we are allowing the local traffic, we have attached two routes, one for primary and one for the secondary. In the same way, we have to attach peering ID. You can see it is the same peering ID. It is one peering ID, but we have to mention it 4 times. 2 time in VPC A route table and 2 time in VPC VPC B's route table. So for primary and secondary, let's say if we have let's say we have multiple CDR blocks assigned to our VPC. For each CDR block, you have to assign the peering ID. If peering ID happen to be same, why? Because we want to communicate with VPC B, and VPC B also has the secondary CDR blocks. So in that case, we have to attach our peering ID for each CDR block. Okay, guys, I hope you are not having any doubt in this topic. Please let me know any doubt.
No, clear.
Good. Because guys, we will not be doing each and every configuration. So this is a set, we will be doing a particular configuration in our lab. So I am trying to give you the detail, and if you find out that you are not getting what I'm talking about, you just let me know, because we are not doing this in lab. It may cause you a problem when you are doing by yourself. That's why, if your concepts are clear, then there is no problem, and there is no worry to uh, no worry to feel about anything. Then just make sure that if any doubt arise, just let me know where we are. Yes, 3 VPC pair together. Now we have 3 VPC, and each one of them having a connectivity. Each one of them have a connectivity with each other. So let's take a look in the route table of VPC A. We have two peering ID connected with us, and one is for our VPC B, and one route is going to our VPC C. Coming on to the case of VPCB, you can see in our route table, we have 3 destination routes added. One is for VPC A, and one is for VPC C, and one is local route. So make sure that before doing any configuration, you are creating these kind of maps. You are creating all the route you have to add to make sure you have two-way communication and connectivity. Most probably we will do this kind of version of lab, and this one is for you guys. You have to do this assignment after I will done explaining the lab of VPC peering to you. You will do this VPC peering. You have multiple VPC, and one is your major VPC A, and you have to connect multiple VPCs with your VPC A. So you will be creating route, you will be adding route in your VPC A, and you will be simultaneously adding similar peer ID in your particular VPC. That ID belongs to a particular VPC. That's why you have to make sure you are not doing any wrong configuration. So, okay, this is the
And
lab. What?
I'm asking, like, we can raise the request for peering from any of the VPCs, right?
Yes, if you have access to VPC A and B, both are your VPC. You can raise request from B. If you want to raise request from VPC A, you can do that. So both are in your control. Any doubt, guys? Okay. Now let's move towards the lab, and I am in the console. We have our EC2. And our VPC management. Let me just firstly show you the billing and pricing before that. So guys, I have been like I yesterday when we were doing class in our prior class, I was using some chargeable services. So this is what bill will look like if you get some bill against your card. So there's no like very minimal charges for services. So for previous class, we have created the net gateway, and net gateway is always chargeable. So make sure that you are receiving the alerts into your emails and checking your emails and checking your bill tab. When we see the bill, you will get a detailed summary of the bill, and you will be getting how these things are charged to you. So data transfer, elastic compute, you can see that EC2, on EC2 also I have some charges. So key virtual private for now VPC, I don't have any charge against VPC, but for data transfer for my net gateway I have the maximum charge. And it if it gives you many other features also. Sometime when you are in your home console billing dashboard, it gives you the estimate forecast, like Amazon thinks that within this month I will be spending $1, around $1 point 36 cent, and right now this is what I have spent. So it gives you summary, it gives you chart wise. Right now I have not completed a whole month, that's why it's not showing the chart, but over here it gives you a chart representation of your bill also. So you can see when you are a cloud administrator and you have deployed Amazon solution into your cloud environment, how much benefit cloud Amazon cloud is providing you for your billing, for your services. They give you so interactive dashboard. They are so interactive that it is very hard to miss any data. That's why guys, when we are talking about services, make sure that you know what are the prices are. Make sure that you know what are they used for and what are the pricing, and what are the prices in free tier, like what are the exceed limit in free tier. These are the thing that are important. That's why you have to do it by yourself, because there's nothing to tell. I have shown you the pricing page, like I remember showing you that in previous classes. So make sure that you are visiting the website on a frequent basis. In VPC, guys, we have talked about VPC subnet, route tables, internet gateway. We have done net gateway. Now talk about now we are doing the lab for peering connection, VPC peering. So over here you can see I have no connection. Let's create one. Create a peering connection. Okay, sorry, I don't have any VPCs. So um, first step is creating VPCs, because we want to have connection in between VPCs. If we don't have VPC, then how will we have a connection? This is the default VPC. We are not doing anything with this. So we will create VPC of our own. VPC A, I am naming it VPC A. No, this look better. Let me assign a CDR block to this 10.0.0/16. This guys, I hope every one of you knew why I am using this IP range, because this is the default Sorry guys, we lost network for few seconds. Can you please let me know at which, like, where we at? What I was talking about?
You mentioned that why we are using IP and for CIDR these well.
Yes, guys, please let me know if any one of you have the doubt why we are using this particular IP range. Okay, good. So we are not tag. If you want to give any other tags, you can do that. Create VPC. So this is our VPC A. We have created successfully. Now we will be creating another VPC. Okay, let's understand the diagram first. What we are doing, we are creating a network between VPCs in which our one VPC is paired with our two other VPC. What one VPC? VPC A is connected with VPC B and C. So first of all, what we have to create? Three VPCs. So I am creating three different VPCs. VPC A has the range this. So over here you can see the routes. So let's create the different VPCs.
Uh, for the first VPC you created, you have to recreate, I think, because that value will overlap for everything, na?
For that we can do subnetting. Okay. So I was explaining the route table. This is what route table will look like. So we have our almost two ID of pairing, these two pairing IDs that we have to attach. We have one internet gateway that we have to create and another internet gateway we have to create for our VPC A and B. So in previous class, you guys remember that we only have one internet gateway for our default one and we have attached that gateway to our VPC to make sure that our public subnet has the capability of going out on the internet. But in today's section, we will create two different gateways and we will attach them. So this will also cover. Okay.
You use O,
Oh, I'm sorry.
the second letter.
What you are saying?
Instead of 10, you use 10.
Oh, in this one.
Yeah.
10.0. Okay, 16.
Yes, guys, you are saying something?
These two CDRs will overlap.
Which one?
The previous VPC you created.
Okay, let me check what I have mentioned.
So probably this IP address, are we the one to assign it on our this or AWS will assign it to us?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question?
I'm talking about the assigning of IP address.
Yes, so you have a specific range that is by default allowed by the AWS. So there is in one specific range you have more than 60,000 IP addresses, and in one specific range you have 16. So they are by default, and you have to remember whenever you like according to your need, you will create these IP blocks, CDR blocks. So if default range, we have talked about the default range, right, guys? If you guys have been making notes, within the slide we have the default range section. Let me check. Over here, you can see, let me read the point to you. When you create a VPC, you must specify a IPv4 CDR block for the VPC that allow block size between 16 net mask. So within you can do subnetting, and by you can create 16 IP addresses, and if you required more than 65 you can create, and you can obviously going with the bigger CDR block. We are going with the bigger CDR block because we have many IP addresses available. Yes, so guys, you were telling me that the subnet I have the block that I have mentioned in our VPC A will overlap, so I am just checking that. Okay, yes, it will. Mhm. Okay, guys. So I'm really sorry I was not following the diagram. So I will make sure that we will not do any other misconfiguration. So, okay, let's move on. We have to firstly create our three VPC. So we are creating first one. Come once again, 10.1.0. Three VPCs we have to create. VPC A we have just created. Now it's time for VPC B. Create VPC. So I have created three VPCs in my same region. If you want, guys, you can create in different regions, but we face a lot of connectivity issue, and Mumbai is the one where I am facing low latency. So that's why I am creating all of these three in Mumbai. But if you want, you can go out of the Mumbai, you can create in any region you want. Make sure you experiment with these services because it is free tier. Whatever is available in your free tier, make sure that you use it.
The process will remain same, no?
What do you mean?
Like if you choose different regions, it doesn't have any impact on the process we follow. No?
No effect on the process. You are just gonna go into the another, let's say I am going in Seoul. So let's see, I am in my VPC that is in Seoul. So I have not created any VPC. There are some that are not available in FreeDier. So
No, actually, you have selected an existing VPC, so it is not available. You can go to the main list.
okay, so we are now in the Tokyo region. We have one that is by default, and I told you what is the purpose of this default. You can see we have the CDR. This is given over here, and for all of the information, just click on the ID and you will get other informations. Okay, so network ACL, that's what our like tomorrow's topic is, if we covered the VPC peering lab today. So many option you can check out. You can learn from default how to create the connectivity, and default will let us know that if we have any problem, and you can see how interactive this dashboard is. There's a mapping that is giving you the flow of the traffic. So you just have to go in the VPC. You can just create your VPC, right? And when you have, right now it is not showing the option, but when you select VPC, if I get a request, so let's say from my Mumbai region I am requesting to the Tokyo region. So in my Tokyo region, when I'm sitting in my Tokyo region, I will see a ID appeared, VPC connection, asking for the approval. Then I will select that ID and approve that. Let me show you what will it look like. So right now we are just doing it in the Mumbai. You can check it with other VPCs, with other VPCs that are situated in your other region. So you can create different VPCs in different region and try to have a connectivity with them. So by now we have created 3 VPCs. Now what we have to do, we have to create 2 internet gateways and 2 VPC IDs. Let's first create the gateways because we are already familiar with gateway. So right now, yeah, before we had a default gateway, but in previous class, I have deleted all the up services. So let's create the new one. So same process. This one is for VPC A, okay? Internet gateway is attached with VPC E and internet gateway is attached with VPC B. But with VPC C, we did not attach any internet gateway. So our VPC is totally private. We will be accessing the instances with the private IP address. So this is our internet gateway A. Create internet gateway. State is detached. Let us attach it to a VPC. We will select a VPC. This is for our VPC A. We will attach it with the VPC A only. It is attached with the VPC A. So we will go back to the internet gateways again and create another gateway. Let's create one for our VPC B. So name tag, internet gateway for VPC B. Create. Now again we will attach it with VPC and with VPC B because we have created it for VPC B. Over here you can see, guys, A is not, because okay, let me cross it. Then you can see we have the default VPC, we have C and B, but not A, because A is already have internet gateway. So it doesn't make any sense that we are using another one. Before attaching this one, we have to de-attach the internet gateway that is already attached with VPC A. So that's why we are not seeing the option of VPC A. Okay, so internet gateway, let's see, are they ready? Yes, we have two internet gateway ready. Now, peering connection, no peering connection. So we will create a peering connection. Okay, so let me name it peer A and B. So I'm generating request from VPC A, and who will accept this? Obviously, I want connection between VPC A and B. So VPC B will accept it. You get this ID. I told you about your peering ID. This is your peering ID. Okay. See, this is your peering ID. Now, again, we have to create another peering connection. So pending over here, you can see this is pending for acceptance. Let's create the another one, then we will accept. Here, so we have created a peer. What?
A to C. Need to create A to C.
Yes. Requester again. Let's say let's pick VPCA. So after clicking this, requester job is done. Only you just have to accept it. So we are creating this in between VPC A and C. So C will accept this. Now let's create the connection. Two peering connection. Accept request. Okay, you will select them one by one and accept the request. We happen to be in the same console. That's why from where I have generated the request, I am able to accept the request. But in case of other region, what I have to do, I have to locally go to the, I have to manually go to the Tokyo region and then accept it. Okay. So you can check out for yourself. You can send request and then try to go into different region and try to accept the VPC peering request. If you face any difficulty, just let me know. But the process is same. Nothing.
If it is a different account, then what kind of information is required?
No other information is required. Like if you have different account, then you have the ID. You have to send the request through the ID, the pairing ID. Then that's what you have to do. If you have different account, the process still is same. You can try it out. So okay, if you guys want, you can do
We
the group
get
project.
Can we get the details of the second user? Like, we want to raise a request, but we don't have the ID. ID is generated after the request is raised only, no?
Listen, you are creating pairing connection over here, right? You put the
Yes.
name and over here you put the ID of request. So if if I want that I want to have VIP VPC peer connection with your Amazon account, I what will do? I will call you. Then I will ask what is your VPC ID. Then I will manually type the ID. Okay. So over here we have the same, but if we have the ID with us, we can manually type it, but we have to select the different configuration. Okay.
So in case of a different AWS account, we have to get the ID from them first, right?
Yes, there are other like requirements also. Okay. So when you have two different account, you have if both of those two account belongs to you, then you can easily have the connection. So it just like you just need the ID and you just have to attach that into your route. But when we are talking about the private environment, when we are talking about organization, first you have to, if you are establishing connection with another AWS account, then it specifically means that that account belongs to some other company, some other user. So they are the cloud administrator of other company. So logically paperwork is there, other things is also there, but process is all same. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, guys?
Who does all that coordination? Like, do we have to do?
No, no, no. You don't have to do that thing. You are just a part of team. Whenever you get hired for any administrator job, you have a senior for you, and you have many, many experienced people and a team of experienced people with you. If you are joining in a good company, if you are working in a startup, then the case is there that you might have to do all the work, but most of the time you have your seniors, you have all the policies, you have for you. When you are working in an environment, you have some rule that you have to follow. So in some company there's a rule that you might get trainings also. I do
So
deliver corporate batch, that kind of thing. So they have their students, they have new joinees, we give them trainings, and this is the policy of company. That's all depend. So you just have to follow the work. They are just telling you that you have to do this, you have to do that. It's not like you have to know each and everything, but when you are saying that you are a cloud administrator, then you must know lot of thing about cloud, how to set up gateways, how to set up VPCs, how to do subnetting, how to do each and everything.
Okay.
okay.
Yes. Any doubt, guys? Do you want to ask something else?
I want to ask something.
Yes.
My question is this: do one need to have be satisfied as an AWS before he can work? Do one need a sat to be a satisfied one before he can
Having a
apply for the job?
certification is very like good. It will definitely attract a lot of attention. But it is not like a mandatory situation that if you want to work as a cloud engineer, you must you must have to have this certification. What you can do, you can apply for free courses, you can apply for AWS study section, and there are many badges they are providing for cloud practitioner. For if you guys remember, I showed you a slide in which there's a section and there's a must uh, certification that is of cloud practitioner, and AWS is offering that for free. So you can do that for free, and you can start applying for the job, and you can start working on your cloud career. If you want that, you can start looking into the free certification that AWS is providing, and you can start doing that. That is as simple as that. If you want to break into the cloud career, if you want to have a break as a cloud engineer, you just go to any cloud provider. mm, all of them, either it be AWS, either it be Google, either it be what other, IBM, Microsoft, all of them are providing free resources for you to understand what are the products are. So even if you don't do any certification, you know what are the products, what are the charging, what are the limitations, what are the pricing. You can explain that to the examiner, and sometimes the degree is must, the certification is must, but I can assure you that there are other options also where you can get the job without the certification.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the summary, for the explanation.
Yeah, if I am able, let me check. I have this study console visible to you guys. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Yes, let me sign in. So you can see in progress, I have few courses with the Amazon Educate. So this one is the foundation. This one is totally free. I haven't paid anything for this, and I am accessing it. I haven't completed due to lack of discipline, but I am. You can see there are many free things over here. There are labs. You can select any product. There are 200 plus product with Amazon is providing. So you can select any product, you can start learning about it, you can do free labs, you can. So I don't think doing certification is a compulsory thing. You can achieve a good job by doing these kind of badges, by doing these kind of learning path, and I think that is more than enough. If you just want to break in, if you just want to have a break in, then certification is not the option you should go for. I won't suggest.
Oh,
Okay, so
Ma'am, could you please share the link in the chat?
d- just click. You can just type awseducate.com.
Okay, 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 okay. Thank you.
I can.
No issues. We can do it. Thanks a lot.
No,
but you
the
said
reason,
AWS certificate.
listen, guys, I am right now, like, I'm telling you the most important thing in your life you can ever hear. Any solution you want to learn, if you want to learn cybersecurity, if you want to learn any solution, let's say I want to learn Google Cloud, about Google certification, you just have to go and visit their website. Just start checking out what are they are offering for free. In my desktop, you can see I have like Splunk. Are you guys familiar what is Splunk?
No.
Okay, it is a security tool.
Yeah, for threat analysis.
Yes, it is a security tool. Cybrary is there. Okay, so like I assume every one of you know Cisco. They also provide many free courses you can check out, and you can have certification badges under your name. I have few. So just giving you a little. Sometimes it's just like you don't have to spend anything to have a break. If you want to work as a cybersecurity analysis, if you want to work anything, like even in coding, you don't have to go and get a degree. You don't have to go and get a certification. You just start doing research, and you can see what are the different courses these big companies are offering. So everyone provides you EC Council gives you, they provide a good certification for hacking, and they also give free courses. Amazon give you free courses, Microsoft give you free courses, Google give you free courses. So uh, just check them out, check their website. They have many things on present on their website. White papers are there, any research paper. If you are interested in research, you can study their research paper. They are doing recent research, and they are researching recent topics, recent technology, recent structure. So if you want to be ahead from everyone, just make sure that you are visiting these top contender. What are these top contender? All these big IT framework regulating companies: Microsoft, Google, Amazon, IBM, Oracle. They give you lots of information what is going on in the market. So if you want proper knowledge about the market, about the job space, start exploring, guys. Start exploring the website. They give you a lot of information on that. So coming back onto the topic, we are doing the lab. We have VPC-A, VPC-V, and VPC-C, and we have creating all the other things we required. We just now going to add the routes. Okay, did I cross it? Yes, over here. So let's go to the route table. By default, we have route tables, and let's click. This one is for, okay. We will create our own route table, and then we will attach them with our VPCs. These default one are already associated with your VPC. Okay, guys. But now we are creating new table. If we want, we can modify those table, those previous default route tables. We can modify them, but it is like easier to create new one. You will also see the process how to create the new one. RT for RTA for VPC-A. So over here you can see I have attached this with the VPC-A. So by default, all the local is active. The route for all local traffic is active. So we will add new routes. What route we want to add? Let's check out. We want to add internet gateway. So first let's add internet gateway. Do we have internet gateway? We do have internet gateway, two internet gateway. For A, we have this one. Our internet gateway A, we have attached with our VPC A. That's why we are able to see it here. If you are not seeing any internet gateway, make sure you go to your internet gateway and check if it is attached or not. Okay. Save changes.
Okay.
Now we will add another route. And which route do we have to add? We are in the route table of VPC-A, guys. Local is added. We just added the internet gateway. Now we have to add the route for 10 dot for VPC B and C. So ID, that also we have to copy. Let's see if it automatically shows you the option or not. 10 dot 2 dot 0 dot 0 slash 16, and So we have to select, we are creating this in between A and B, right guys? So we will save this rather than, okay. So let's add the another route, 10.3.0.0/16. Peering connection. We will select this option, and this is for our C. This route will have connection with this route will create the connection in between A and C. So we will attach this one. Now our route table for A is complete. Going back to the route tables. Uh, route table A. Okay, guys. Three route table we have to create. Second one is route table B, connecting and regulating the traffic in VPC B. Name tag, no name tag, create route table. Okay. Now we have to edit routes. Let's edit some route in here. Does it have a internet gateway? I guess it do have that. And,
You have to attach second one, no?
yes. So another route. This is my VPC B, guys, and with VPC B A is connected, so only one route is added in. Visible to you guys? Yes. Over here, you can see in this table what is happening. If we want that A and B have connection, then we must specify a way out, a traffic way out in VPC B towards A. That's why a ID is attached. But in VPC C, we don't have internet gateway, so no internet gateway connectivity, and we will only attach VPC A and C ID. So this is the route, this is the block, IP block for VPC A, and now I have to establish the ID. A and B, they only have one ID. Okay, that's all we have to add in this table. Okay, so far good. All configuration looks good. We will create another route table. RTC with VPCC, and give me a second, guys. Okay, so let's create this route table. We have created this route table. Now we will attach routes. Now go on the option of edit routes. This VPC is connected with VPC A. We are in VPC V. We are in VPC C, and VPC C is connected with VPC A. We have already added route to VPC C. Now it's time to add a route to VPC A in the route table of VPC C. Okay, so 10.1.0.0/16 for pairing connection A and C. We have created this, guys, successfully, all of the VPCs, and we had configured the route table. Now the checking. So if you guys want, you can have 10 to 15 minutes break because it's been 1 hour already. If you want to have break, you can have break. But we will continue this. We will finish this today. So do you guys want break?
No,
No, I
continue.
think you can continue.
Okay. So let's continue. We have to visit our EC2 because now we will do the testing. And how we will test? We will RDP and check the connection. If we are able to do RDP from within the different peering connection. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to create 3 instances. This one EC2A. So it is in my VPC A, and let's configure. So let's edit it. By default, it is in default subnet, but we want this to be in our VPC A. And there is no subnet selection because we have not creating any subnet. Auto assign IP, public IP. Make sure that guys, you have selected the enable option. Okay, you can configure in the VPC itself. We have done that in previous class, guys. But if you want to make changes, you can do that. But for now, this is my public instance. So I will be enabling the IPv4, auto signing of IPv4. Okay, now let's launch instance. Now, guys, we have to create the subnet also. Reference, key name, CDR block. We are creating our subnet 1. We will do the association. We will go back to our route table and we will associate a subnet to it. We have this particular subnet present. We will save and associate. Okay. Now we will open this EC2.
EC2
Launch
was
it.
not created yet.
No. We were trying to create it, but I just forgot that we haven't created any subnet, so that's why. EC2A. Select window. We will edit. Okay, good. It is successfully created. Now again, what we have to do, guys, we have not created subnets. That's the thing we forgot. So let's create 3 subnet for 3 of our VPCs. VPC for VPC A we have created. Now for VPC B, let's create a subnet in which we will situate our EC2 instance. Okay, guys. So 02. No preference. We don't have any preference in availability zone. This is with VPC B. So do subnetting accordingly, guys. So let's create our another subnet over here. It is for VPC C and this one is private subnet, guys. So 03, no preference, nothing. This belongs to VPC C, that's why 10.3.0.0/24. Now we will create this subnet in process. Good. We will go to the route tables now. And with A, we have attached the subnet. Now with route table B, let's do subnet association. Route table C. Let's do subnet association. Now guys, in route table C, what routes we have? Let's check. We have appearing connection with whom? With VPC A, and we have a local route. Now we are ready to configure our EC2 instances. Going back to EC2. Now in our instance tab, refresh. We have created this first instance in our VPC A. Now let's create in VPC B. Just give me 2 minutes, guys. I will be back. I will be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Thanks guys for waiting. Let's create our second EC2 instance. EC2 for B. Now we will select the image.
Window.
Les guys, are you asking something?
No, not at all.
We have selected the key. Now doing the network setting configurations, we have to select VPC-B because it automatically select the VPC-B's subnet, that is subnet 02, and we want this VPC A and B both have internet gateway connected with them. That's why we will auto assign them the public IP. If we don't do that, we will not get any public IP and we will be able to do RDP and any traffic. We will not be able to send any traffic. We will not have any public connectivity then. Okay. Another EC2. C. This is for VPCC. We will select the image.
You are creating all this EC2 on same region.
What?
You are creating the EC2s on same region.
It's on same zone.
On same zone.
Same zone. Yes, all the EC2s are in the same region, Mumbai, but I am not particular. I have not been particular about the zone. So by default, AWS is selecting the zone for me. When I create VPC, I get a option to select a particular zone. If I want, I can select any particular zone, but I didn't select it because I don't have any particularity. That's why by random, by default, AWS is now selecting the availability zone for me. But the reason I have selected the I I am in Mumbai region. Okay, subnet. So for this one, we have selected the that we will create this as a public, not as a public, but as a private VPC and as a private instance. So we will not give any public ID to it, public IP address to it. So we have what we have done so far. Let me recap. We have done VPC. Okay, so we have created different VPC, VPC A, VPC B, and C. Then what we have to do, but we haven't, that we should create some subnets in them. So we will create subnet 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 are public because they are the part of public VPC, because in that VPC we have attached a internet gateway. Okay, so the route table, now in route table I have attached internet gateway and peering ID. So in route table of A, it has peering ID of A and B and peering ID of A and C. In C, we have peering ID of A and C only and no internet gateway because we have situated a private subnet in it. Okay, good guys. This is what we have done. And now coming on to the EC2 instances. So let's do one thing. Firstly, let's get the password. We will upload the file. So I'm using the previous file. We have created so many files. You can see guys, since I'm using AWS, I have created 8 files. So let's not waste the space and use the previous files. Decrypt. Okay, we got the password. So this is the password. Let's copy. Let me paste it into my notepad over here. Let get password for all of them. If you want to change password, you can also change password, guys.
For C, you already created. You have to create for B.
Okay, let me just mention that over here. Okay, now we are ready, guys. So let's visit our EC2A.
Okay.
What is the public IPv4 address? Let's copy that. Now let me open up RDC. Now we are able to connect over here. Are the password. Mm,
It should be working.
it's telling me the password is wrong. Let me just retrieve the password once again. So maybe I just, mix up the passwords. So because of that, we were not able to access it. But now you can see we are in the EC2A. Okay, so let me confirm.
Present.
Okay, so let's try to connect with our EC2C, EC2C. Our we should not be able to because
Doesn't have any public ID.
mm-hmm. So let's before canceling, guys, let's check out the other thing. Are we able to connect? Okay. So according to our configuration, what should we are able to do? Uh, we are right now in VPC A, so we are able to connect with VPC C, even though it is our private public. It has only private IPv4, but we have the connectivity because we have a direct route through the peer connection. So we will try to access VPC B, the instance that is in the our VPC B, and we will try to RDP the instance that is in our VPC C. So we let's go to EC2A, and now we will do RDP to EC2B first, then we will RDP EC2C. Okay. Okay. So this is the private IPv4 address. Let's copy that. Before sending the connection request, let me just copy the
Leave out the first three characters. They are from the first password.
I'm really happy that you are paying so much attention. It's really helping me out. So thank you so much.
You are welcome.
So we should be able to access. Okay, now we are able to access that. So you can see from my EC2A that is in my VPC-A, I am able to connect with the instance EC2C that is in my VPC-C. Now, guys, let's check one another thing. Is this EC2C? It doesn't have an internet gateway, so let's check. Are we able to ping any website or not? Or does it have any internet connectivity? So it's taking some time. Meanwhile, let's just copy. Let me just copy the public address. Okay. So where we at? We are in so you can see we don't have any internet connectivity. Let's try to check. by the help of ping command, cmd, ping 8.8.8.8. Let's try to ping Google. Can we send traffic out? Timeout? No, because this is our private instance. Okay, so over here you can check the private IPv4 address. Good. So I'm disconnecting the private instance. Let's try to ping Google from our EC2A. You can see, guys, I am in my EC2A because over here I can see the public IPv4 address. Ping 8.8.8.8. So we are able to ping, guys. So our configuration is working good, working absolutely right. That's why we are able to access our EC2C from our EC2A, even though our EC2C is our private subnet instance. So what we have to do now, what will we do? We will, oh, guys, we have to check the connectivity with EC2B also. So I have disclosed the connection. You can do it by yourself. If you find any difficulty, just let me know. But now we will try to connect with EC2C with the RDP. So it will not respond because it is in the private subnet and we don't have the authority to go into the private subnet. So I am sure that we have this particular. Over here, I have copied the public, not public, private IPv4. Let's copy and paste it in the connection. It will not connect because it is private instance. Why? Because it is in the private subnet of VPC C. So all tests are done, guys. Any difficulty, any doubt, please do let me know. We have configured this. We have configured three VPC, VPC A, B, and C, and we have connected VPC A with C and VPC A with B also. We have attached peering connection IDs. We have attached internet gateway. We have attached.
We will be able to ping from C to A.
Yes. You will be able to send traffic from C to A. So all your packets routed towards VPC A, they will be able to communicate perfectly fine because route is added over here. If I delete, let's say I delete the route for in VPC A, I delete this particular route VPC A / CID, this peering ID, then what will happen? Even though in my VPC C the ID is still attached, the peering ID is still attached, I will not able to send the traffic out because to able to communicate, we have to put this ID in both route tables. So it's a two-way communication. Please, guys, let me know if you have any doubts. Very easy configuration, but it is just easy to miss steps, miss other things. For me, there are like students like you who are paying attention and helping me out. But while you are doing it alone at home, make sure that you make the chart, you make the graph, and you do put the route table first in paper, then you start configure. So this is what we have done for today. We have covered up the topic of VPC peering. So you guys try to do the lab by yourself, try to practice. And in our next lecture, we will check out network ACLs. So these are the component of security. ACL is a very big component. We can add a lot of security. We will check that out. Okay, guys. So this is it for today. Any doubts? Please let me know, guys.
Ma'am, I have a question. Like, if any guys as working as a cloud security engineer, so
Mm-hmm.
is it like he'll be working with ACLs only, or there are some other sort of things he need to do? Like he'll
Okay,
be working
cloud.
on fiber as well.
Mm-hmm. You have firewalls also in cloud. You have your ACS, but you have your cloud softwares, cloud solution for specifically data security. Let's say for DLP, data loss prevention. So you have your cloud solution. So when you talk about cloud security, you enter in a different domain. We are doing cloud administration course. So cloud security is a different domain. You have different concept, different tools to access the more secure version of cloud. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else, guys?
Okay. What I want to ask is in regards to this, because before now I've been into DevOps co. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but hope I'm not deviating because I know more of DevOps requires a crowd. So, or are there a particular area that a DevOps engineer ought to know in regards to crowd aspect?
Okay, so I assume you have not been regular in the classes, Nelson?
Yes.
Okay, so there are some topics that you have to cover up. We can do one thing. I can give you a recap, and those who want to attend the recap can attend, and those who want to leave can leave the class. And it will be a very short recap for you, Nansen, because you have addressed this issue earlier also. So you have recordings for your suggestion. You can try to search out by yourself over the Google. You can go and check the resources. If you find any doubt, you can come to me. And if there is any other way you think I will be able to help you out, you can let me know if you have any suggestion. But for right now, I will suggest to do look up the recordings, and I can give you the recap like right now. If you have time, you can attend. And other thing is just be regular in the classes, because we will be concluding this whole batch in maybe within this week. So very few sessions are left. So guys, I will urge you and I will request you to be regular and don't miss any topic, because in the last section we will do a lot of practice and a lot of recapping. So if you have ever missed before, you will get the recap. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is that
Okay.
what you like? I hope I address all of your concern.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So, guys, please let me know, do you have any doubt? Otherwise, I am starting a recap session for Nelson. And if any other participant wants to join, wants to stay, they can stay. Otherwise, they are free to leave, because our today's session is all done. Okay. Yes, guys. So let's not go to these slides and do all the boring work again. Let me open up the paint and let me just give you what is the cloud look like. Like what
Okay.
now just understand. This is just we have already been using so much of cloud like from very beginning since you were using phone you are very well aware about the Google Cloud Photos where you're storing photos where you're storing emails there in some way you are storing something over the cloud but when AWS and before AWS there has been many cloud provider that been working in this industry. So before AWS, cloud has been seen as a storage capacity, a storage capacity where you don't have to install anything. You just need to get a login ID and password. Just do something. If you are using Google storage, then you just put your data in Google and you will get a login ID and password. Just put it in and you will access all of your data that you have stored. So benefit are the same. You don't have to put any labor, you don't have to put any infrastructure, you don't have to do any maintenance, you are just accessing the services. That's why Amazon Web Services, they are giving you services, they are not giving you anything else, they are providing you services. Somewhere in the Mumbai there is a whole infrastructure developed by the Amazon to provide us AWS console. The working we are doing on AWS console, it is because the infrastructure is already set up by the AWS. So we are just using the services over the online platform. So now we talked about storage, we talked about many things. What are the services cloud is giving us? You can see, just check out the service tab. You can visit recently visited. We have check out EC2 now. Till now we have checked out EC2, VPC, billing, console, and I have not discussed EC2 image builder with you, but I was checking this one. So, what are the different services we have? We have analytical services. You can create data charts. You can create desktop. You can have multiple data strings coming in, and you can analyze what are you can predict the future. What are the giving if you have a particular giving result, what are the answers will look like if there's a problem. Let's say there's a data on customer sales and you notice that every night your sales go down. So this is it's this is a connection you have built, and it's a very simple situation I have given you, because by the night people mostly go to sleep, so they are not doing purchase. That's why you have less visitor on the Amazon by night. So it is a simple string of data we have arrived by looking the data. So if we have lots of data, we can arrange it, we can run analytical tool on it, and we can find out some meaningful information. So this is one of kind of services we have application integrated. If you have certain particular application and there's a certain application and you want certain, if your requirement has certain environment to run that application, and your application required some tools, some specific compute, some specific processors, so you can have application integration and all the other subsys sub sub apps. You can have other sub apps that are required to run your application, so it is giving you so a lot. We have check out compute. EC2 is in the compute. If you check out the compute, you have a lot of option. Not only EC2, you have batch processor, you have app runner, you have elastic bandtick, you have lambda, you have Lightsail. We will check out Lightsail. It is a private server, so it is just like a management console. If you want to create a private server for your organization, there's a container. So elastic container volumes, when we talk about volumes, we are talking about containers, we are talking about lost stock storage. When we talk about storage, we are talking about container. So we have registries, we have services, different services, so you can store your data. So database you can check out. There are a lot of database, and you can use them to arrange your data if you are dealing in big data. and you can find out some good tools over here, developer tools. So we talked about this. If you want to develop a web application, if you want to develop a certain software, so you don't have to bring out all the necessary environment. You just have a platform, each and everything. You have a shell provider, you have a code builder, you have lots of things. But what is Amazon giving you? It is giving you a platform as a service. It is giving you a lot of things where you can pick out anything you want, any software you want, and start coding in them. Cloud Shell, Code Artifact, there's a name of few. So you can check out from being a storage unit where cloud services are come. They have come a long way. Now, with this much of scope, with this much of advancement, you can see there are a lot we have to learn. So when we go to the basic, yes. So the roadmap certification, you can check out certification. If you want to have that certification batch, that certification under your name, you can go out. But most of the things are already available on the web for free. So before spending money, start looking out for the free options. uh, we have checkout, Amazon EC2, Amazon storage, networking. So
I'm sorry, are you sharing your screen?
oh, I'm sorry, yes, I am. Okay, so you haven't missed anything. I just drawn this circle, kind of like a circle. So I was just explaining, and I showed you these services from here over here. Okay, I talked about analytical services, application integrated services. I talk about not cost management, but there are services which will help you to manage your Amazon services cost. If you are using a lot of Amazon services, they are costing you a lot. So you want to have a management console so you can check out different services you are using and how much they are costing you and how can you reduce the impact and cost. You can do this from here. Okay, so developer tools, media services, many tools. That's why they have 200 plus services to offer to us. Okay, so now I was talking about the Amazon basics. So when we talk about cloud, there are different deployment of cloud. How much cloud we are accepting in our organization. If let's say I have many photos in my phone and I am saving them only onto cloud because I don't use those photos. I don't look up to them. Like I don't want them. If I have internet connectivity, I can go that, but I don't want that photos to be a part of my storage. So I will delete that from my storage. What will happen? I have more space in my storage. Those photos are not necessary for me, but the things are necessary for me. I can create storage for them now because I have an option of cloud storage. So this is the just a like daily example. Now when we talk about services, cloud is providing us so many services, we can use that. And how much part of cloud we want to accept? If let's say I want to go fully cloud, then I will not set up any infrastructure on my physical building. I will just set up a simple office, have a couple of chairs, a bunch of desks, but I have my team, I have their desktop setup, and each and everything, all my heavy servers, all my heavy duty applications, all my software, they are present on cloud. I don't have anything in my premises. But if I go with hybrid solution, what in the hybrid deployment mode? We have in the hybrid deployment model, we have that I am deploying some of my services, I am using some of cloud services, and I am deploying some services in my premises. I am setting up physical infrastructure, I am hiring someone to manage that infrastructure, I am hiring someone to do the configuration. So I am doing all of this because I have the requirement. Let's say government allows me to do that, government restrict me to do that. I cannot present all the data to the Amazon because this is confidential data of Indian government. Maybe some policies of Indian government that for example, that a very frequent example comes in my mind. In Europe, all the medical reports you have, you are not able to share them. If someone is calling to the medical personnel, if it is not you, they will not share your reports, medical reports. Even it's your mother, it's your father, even it's your spouse, they will not share it until and unless it's you, because European government is very strict regarding all these medical laws. So similar thing, if our government, if laws are restricting us to have some particular data present in our premises only, we this data cannot leave our premises. Or maybe we are in some kind of service. Let's say I am Spotify, and it doesn't require me that I store all these songs on my server on and create a database out of it. I am just a streaming app, I just provide a way to listen music to people's. So what I can do, I can store all of my songs over to the server, over to the cloud server, and I can just provide my application, and people will directly get connected to my cloud server. They will achieve all the playlist, all the data from the cloud. So it's as simple as that. According to your business requirement, you will select the deployment model. Deployment model is nothing, it is just how much cloud you want in your organization. If you want to go fully cloud, cloud deployment. If you want semi cloud, hybrid model. If you don't want any cloud, no cloud. Cloud computing. So cloud computing, what is cloud computing? Giving you a compute power, a power of processing, a processing power, a computing power over to the cloud. You don't have to do anything. You just have to access it. Just if you are a first time user, create your account. If you are a second time user, just log in into your account, and you can access the compute power. Architect, what is the architect? You can see Amazon gives you application, Amazon provide you platform, Amazon provide you infrastructure. So we will see deployment model, public, private, hybrid, community. So now coming to the deployment model, we have public deployment model. What is public deployment model? If our resources, if we are okay with our resources getting accessed by the public, if we are okay to share our resources with public, if we don't mind that, we go with public model, because public mo- cloud model has connectivity with the internet, with the public. So that's why public model is basically used for the web servers, for websites that are already available to the public. So any resource, any data that you want, you are comfortable sharing with public, with anyone, you can put it in the public cloud. Now coming on to the private cloud, name suggesting you it is private because all stuff matters to you. You want to have lot of security, you don't want to share this data. Hybrid community, in hybrid you have a little bit of public deployment, bit of private deployment. In community, you have a set of people, you have different groups, they are the part of your community, and if only they are the part of community, they can access the resource. If they are not part of community, they are not gonna access the resources. For example, like club, club, if you have a membership, let's say Gymkhana club, if you have a membership of Gymkhana club, then only you can participate in the activities. But if you don't, if you are not a member, you cannot. Same with the community deployment model. Service models, this is very important because when we talk about cloud practitioners, this is the certification which is must if you want to go for advanced cloud certifications. So in that, this is the topic they taught most: service model, infrastructure as a service. So you have infrastructure like available to you. You just have to come and build up your software, build up your team, and start using the infrastructure hardware resources. For example, let's say I want to set a call center. Okay, set up a call center, and I am selling something. So I have a team of 10 people. What will I do? I will give them laptops, and rather than setting anything else, I will give them Amazon clouds, EC2 instances. I will set EC2 instances from for them, and they will start using the EC2 instances. And I haven't deployed anything yet. I am just accessing the EC2 instance, and all the compute power, all processor, all storage unit are deployed by the Amazon. I am just selecting how much compute power I want, how much processing power I want, how much storage I want. So I'm just selecting this. I don't have to select, like, I don't have to go and buy a good processor, a good model, like good brand computer. Now I can just have any second hand computer laptop set up in my environment, and I can access latest version of softwares, latest version. Right, guys? Okay.
Yeah,
Plat Yes.
yeah, we are getting.
Okay, good. Okay. So service model, we are talking about service model, platform as a service. So platform as a service is like they are giving you a lot of software, a lot of code building tools or tool building tools. Like you have a tool, and you have a tool that builds something else, that build a tool, that can build a tool. For example, okay, there's a very good example I can give you guys. Let's say you are visiting a restaurant. Okay, so if you are ordering something and the waiter is taking your order and giving you the dish, it is exactly like software as a service. You are ordering for your specific need, specific requirement, and you have a specific need, specific requirement, and you see the options in the menu and select, oh, I want to manage my email system. So let's go with the Amazon Web Services webmail. With that, what will happen? You will get a email domain and you will be able to manage your emails. My requirement was to manage the email. Amazon specifically have a software to manage emails, so I can use that. It will call software as a service. Now when we talk about platform as a service, what will happen? I am visiting a restaurant. Rather than giving my order to the waiter, what I do, I visit the kitchen and I see all the utensils, all the vegetables, veggies, all the other cooking ingredients, and I start cooking. I have a platform, and I have different tools, I have different things with me. With these tools I can create my own tools. I can create my own dish. So let's say I want to create a application in my Python, in Python coding. Download the I can download where I can write the code. I can download the server to check it out. I can download many other things. And if I want to build an application and I want to build a proper setup from front end to back end, I can deploy a server also. I can check out how my application is, reacting. uh, if before launching it to the public, I can check out the performance of my application. So there are different tools. I am using them to build down my own service. So there are different software on a platform. There are different software. I am using this software to create something. It can be a software, or it can be a finalized product for me. Maybe I'm just creating a report and I am the consumer. I am the only consumer. I am managing this server. I want to know how many requests I get, how many requests is failing, and what kind of data people are looking for, how many what what web page they are looking most at. So this will all this will benefit me as a company. Okay, so it is also according to my need, I will select the platform. So now, guys, we have done labs also. So for now, it will be more clearer for you to understand infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Important topic just covered up. Advantages. What are the advantages? It's just very quick to deploy. Like in seconds, I can deploy a computer. You have seen me, right? You have done it by yourself. A EC2 instance, a compute instance, I can deploy it in seconds. Quick deployment, easy to access. I can access it from anywhere. If I'm sitting in Delhi, I'm sitting in Pune, I'm sitting in like anywhere in India, I can access it. I don't have to be a particular place, don't have to be on a particular place at a particular time. No, I can access it from anywhere. Scalable and reliable. I want to set up 10 EC2 instance, I can set that up. I want to set 100 of EC2 instances, I can set them up. So according to my need, I can scale it. And they are very reliable because lot of um, developers, lot of cloud, like lot of Amazon cloud developers are working behind the scene to give you this facility. So very low to maintain, like there is no maintenance cost, very low maintenance cost. So you can think of this advantage by yourself. And we have talked about the advantages. Disadvantages: if you don't have internet, no connectivity. Security, it can be a issue. Yeah, security can be a issue. If you don't know much about cloud security aspect, then it will start causing you issue, because the concepts are same, but the working is still different. Like uh, in the traditional environment, you have a proper router, but in cloud environment, you have a route table, then you have other ACL list, you have security groups. So the part of route tables are coming up to you as a option in your dashboard. Free dial services, many services are available in free dial. Amazon region, we have multiple region and we have multiple availability zone in each region. Okay, so we have multiple region, and in each region we have multiple availability zones. Okay, so both of these availability zone, each availability zone is connected, okay, through a low latency link. Why? Because let's say I have created my instance in my availability zone A, and I am trying to access them, but the connection is slow, and I want to transfer some data from my zone A to B. So I should have a good connectivity. They are also maintaining replicas. They are also maintaining replicas in like behind the scene. They are maintaining replicas, they are creating copies, so that if somehow there's some delay, or let's say a data loss, they will be like answerable for your data loss. That's why they are maintaining copies, they are maintaining replicas. In case of data loss, they are now able to present you the copy which is exactly the same. So there are many regions, and there are many regions that are coming soon. So you can check them out in the console, you can check out by yourself. Nothing new, availability zone, nothing new. It is very like old topic now. We have done a lot. So we share a connectivity. Yes, we do. Then a good link, if you want to check from where you're getting the low latency, you can check cloudping.info. You can type cloudping.info and you will get on the website, and you will click a button for TCP packet sending. They will start sending a HTTP or ping or TCP packet, and you will check out what is the latency. Okay. Then scope of different Amazon services: A to Z, EC2 instances, volumes, instance, Redshift node, subnets. We have many services, regional. Okay, so there are some services that belong to availability zone. There are some services that are available on a regional basis, and there are some services that are available to you on a global basis. So what is the meaning of that? EC2 instances you can create anywhere, like in any availability zone you can create your EC2 instance. Okay, EBC volumes, they are the part of your availability zone kind of services. But AMIs, you can transfer your AMI from one region to another region, but you cannot transfer your EC2 instance from one region to another region. You can create a AMI, a copy, and you can transfer the copy, but you cannot copy. Like you cannot transfer that you have completely taken out from zone A and put it in the zone B. You cannot do that. Okay. So global, you can see Route 33 cloud frontend. So these are the routing policies. These are the group policy rules. So they are the globals. Okay. So you can check out service limit. What are the limit and when we are using services. So you don't want to cross the limit, because after crossing the limit, charge will start reflecting on your card. EC2 instance, we have done it. We have done it so many times. We have created EC2 instance for Windows, for Linux, and I will urge you to check out all the images. Okay, they have many images. They have Ubuntu, they have Red Hat, they have other images. Check out, download each and every image and run and launch the instance. Check out how, if you are able to RDP them. Okay, so there are different options: on demand, reserve, spot, dedicated. In EC2 on demand, we if as the demand raise, we can raise the compute. As if the demand fall, we can decrease the EC2 instances. Reserved, they are reserved for specific time period, let's say 1 year or 3 years. Spot, you are bidding for your EC2 instances. So let's say I have purchased 10 instances, but I am only using 2 and 8 are left alone. I don't want to waste them, so I put in the Amazon sale and someone bid for my instance, so I will give them the compute power. Dedicated, there's specific compute that is dedicated for a particular use or a particular host. Okay, so you can learn it on the Amazon website, what is on demand, reserved, on spot, or dedicated. So very easy topics. Type of EC2, so there are different type of EC2s. So it's a total family, and in this family there are many members. According to their speciality, you can select which EC2 instance you want to go with. So we are doing work in T2. They are general purpose and we don't have any specific requirement. That's why we are using T2. But if we have any requirement for heavy storage capacity, we have we have a dense need of storage, like warehousing. We want to create file server. We are uploading, downloading like gigabits of data. Then we will go with D2. And if we have something to do with high speed, if we want that our website it's so high speed that it will not lag anywhere, it will just like in couple of seconds you should be able to reach our website. So I will go with I2, right? Is it? Yes, I2. I will go with I2 because I2 generation, family generation speciality is in providing high speed storage. So I can give document on a on a very good speed. I can receive traffic and send traffic out on a very good speed. So you can check out. Sorry. Oh, okay. You can check out different families, their speciality, their use cases. You can check out each and everything. Okay. EBC, block level storage. Okay, so we are talking about volume, we are talking about a block of storage. It is just a block of storage. It is just like a hard drive, a send drive, but it is just a storage device. You are storing something in it. So it is very flexible, because if you want to store 30 GB, you can create a volume of 30 GB. If you want to store TBs of data, you can create TBs of volume. Okay, so very volume categories, there are different volume categories: SSD backup volume and HD backup volume. So each volume has its own use case and its own speciality, same as the EC2 instance. Okay, same case as the EC2 instance. So you can check it out. General purpose SSD, general purpose SSD, this is the basic volume. We are also using this one a lot of time. Provisional, so if you have a lot of input output service to like output request, a lot of input output requests, you will go with this volume type. Throughput, if you have lot of throughput, you will go with throughput optimized HSD. So there are different options. They have different speciality. You can choose accordingly. General purpose, provisional, throughput, cold, magnetic, security groups, security groups. Now talking about security group, you want some security, at least some security in your public instances. Even if they are public, you still want some security, right? Like certain group of IP addresses, certain group of people should not be able to access our instances. So with the help of security group, you can achieve that. You can regulate the traffic, you can control the traffic, like what kind of traffic, what kind of ports are open. Yeah. Okay. Volumes, you can increase volume, you can attach volume, you can reattach volume, you can copy volume, you can copy your EC2 instance, you can create AMIs, you can create snapshot, and you can restore them. You can even transfer them from one region to another region. No, not transfer, copy, sorry. Okay. Linux, same. We have CentOS, we have Debian, we have Fedora, we have Ubuntu. So lot of Linux servers are there. So different servers have different username. So you can check it out. Elastic IP, static IP. For NAT gateway, it is compulsory. And if you have a Elastic IP, but it is not attached with any NAT gateway or EC2 instance, it will charge you. They will charge you. But if you have a Elastic IP and you are using it in one instance, or let's say one NAT gateway, it will not cost you anything, because one Elastic IP is given free in the AWS free tier. But net gateway is chargeable. So if your IP is attached with your net gateway is chargeable. So you will be seen charging of net gateway. So elastic IP, nothing. Static IP. VPC, today's topic, from like VPC, we have covered it in recently. Virtual network, you just have a virtual network over the cloud, and you can create different subnet in this. You can apply rule on this subnet, like this one is my private subnet, I want this one to be my public subnet, I want my private subnet to go onto the net, onto the internet to download patches. So we can do a lot of things because we have a virtual private network for us. It's just like a private network, a private cloud. We can create subnet, we can apply security, we can attach gateway, we can create multiple VPCs and do peering with them. We have seen that today. Okay, so VPC, very important topic. We have different type of VPC to configure. We can configure a VPC with single public subnet. Only one public subnet is available. So VPC with one signal. You can configure VPC, but if you want to install EC2 instance, you should have a subnet in it. Without subnet, you will not be able to deploy the instance. Okay, so VPC, we have VPC public and private subnet. You can create two subnet in it. One is public, one is private. Public will have internet connectivity, private will not have internet connectivity. VPC with public private subnet and hardware VPN access. So you have your private subnet and you don't want that anyone from anywhere to access your private subnet, but only through VPN connection. So you will have a hardware VPN connection set up at your office, and through the office location, you will be able to access your private subnet. VPC with private subnet only. So you only have a private subnet available on the cloud, and you are accessing it through the hardware, through the interface, VPN interface, IPsec tunnel that is present at your office room. Okay, so check it out. Check it out. In VPC, subnets are there, route tables are there, internet gateways are there, elastic IP is there, net gateways are there, peering connection are there. So we have few topic left in VPC. We will check them out in the coming sections. So subnet, public and private subnet, you all know public. Why public? Because it has IPv4 and it is connected with the internet gateway. Private, why private? Because it doesn't have any route to internet, no route added to internet, so no connectivity. Subnets, you can see first four and last IP address is fixed and blocked by the AWS for certain region. You can check out what are the reasons, and 5 IP, you are not using those 5 IP. Route tables, very important. If you want to direct traffic from one subnet to another, from one PPC, one VPC to another VPC, you should have a clear understanding about route table, how to attach route, and how to do the proper IP designation, and you should attach the right destination path and route next to it, right route to next to it. Okay, so route tables, in route tables we are creating routing rules, we are replacing routing rules. So everything, if you want to create a public subnet, you will declare that it is a public subnet, because in route table you will attach a route to internet gateway. That's it. Internet gateway, a way to internet, VPC with public subnet. This is one type of VPC configuration. So we have checked net gateways, different VPC configuration, and VPC peering. We have done VPC peering today, and we have done the lab. So I guess this recap is enough. Please, guys, let me know. Do you have any doubt or any kind of question? Please do let me know. Nothing?
For the VPC, like, who gives all the network related details? I mean, like in the requirement, or we have to do all the calculations?
Okay. So
Okay. So
I'm muting you
I'm
all,
muting.
guys. Okay, now you are on mute. So let me tell you, the question is about who is declaring on all this network connectivity in the VPC. That's what I have been asked. So you have checked that when we are creating VPC, even if we are creating EC2 instance, automatically a default VPC and a default things so on so get created by itself. So when we have the option, when we have the subnet, when you are working in the organization will tell you that we have a particular range, we are setting up 25 computers, we are setting up 100 computers, we are setting up 1000 computers, we want to set them on cloud, we want this particular IP range. Either they can give you clear instruction, either they can ask for your suggestion. So on that thing, the network, how VPC and network is going in and out, it is by they everything is working like old school day, it is working, same router, same switches, but we are not seeing the physical part of it, we are just accessing the software part of it. So somewhere in the Amazon there's router situated, somewhere in the Amazon there's switch situated, and they have all the physical premises over which we are creating a VPC. All the network, we have some component, some concept of routers, some concept of switch, some concepts of firewalls, ACLs in there in the dashboard, and we can configure and we can apply this concept, but they are not exactly like the physical environment. Let's say route table does act like a router, but it is not a router, it is just a route table in which you are adding route and a way to come like a route to it, the designation and a route to the designation.
So for this, there is no need of a networking team. Like, in general, in an organization, there used to be a networking team who takes care of
Mhm.
logging into the routers, logging into the switches, defining the VLANs and
Yes,
everything.
yes,
So in this case, we are the whole and soul caretaker for
y-
networking part as well.
yes. That's why we call it cloud engineering, because not all the aspect of network are in there. Oh, okay, we are dealing with VPC, we see that in networking. We are dealing with route tables, we see that in VPC. Not sorry, we are dealing with route table, we see them in networking. We are dealing with VPN, we are talking about ACLs, we are talking about security group. These are the words and these are the vocabulary we have already familiar with because of the networking domain. So those who participants who are from the networking domain, you will be seeing lots of concept and lots of word that you are already familiar with, but you have to just remember the physical working is the same, but over here you are not accessing any router, you cannot RDP router here, over here you cannot RDP the switch. So you still have few controls in your environment, but eventually who is maintaining it? Cloud. Who has the full access? Cloud, because they have the all physical things in their premises. You are just over the internet from a software accessing the rules and tools, sorry, not rules, accessing the tools, accessing the softwares. So you do have some flexibility, some control, but not overall control like you used to have in your uh, physical and traditional network. That's why security is still a concern in cloud. Any other doubt, guys?
Yeah, for does sometimes any requirement comes for an EC2 instance without any VPC setup, VPC or any network related setup
Hmm.
in the real time.
Okay, so you have to understand, when we're talking about setting a EC2, we are talking about setting up a computer, right? So if we are setting up a computer, then we if it's in the if we want a like a connectivity, it, just a standalone EC2, how will it have a connectivity, and how will we use it, and why we use it? Like it just a no connect like this is just like a computer with no connectivity. So if you have your EC2 and you want that it has to be standalone, not a part of any VPC, just a compute, then you would, I don't know, VMware is a better option for you. A desktop service is a better option for you rather than going with the cloud computing, cloud providers. You should go with the desktop servers. You can go with the VMware because this is the more solution. This is the rather good solution for your problem rather than going on to the Amazon, because if you are setting up a EC2, it means you are running up a fully functional computer. So when you are running up a fully functional computer, that computer must be having some connectivity, because your computer, your EC2 is connected with the internet. Your EC2, um, i- your computer, like it should have a IP. So as it get its IP, it gets some roots attached to it, and as it get the IP, it already becomes a part of a CDR block. It becomes a part of a IP range. And why Amazon is giving you all these default VPC, default subnets? Because they also have to keep track na which instance you are talking about. You can give them the ID and how they are finding out like this ID belongs to this instance. So they also have their services running in behind that is helping them to work and helping them to give you service. So there is service and there is sub service that is helping the service, Amazon Web Service, eventually that what you are seeing in your dashboard, nothing else. Any other doubt, guys? Okay, I hope that your concern is cleared.
Yeah,
Did you?
one quick question. I mean, apart from this course, like once you are done with AWS cloud
Mm-hmm.
admin, uh, uh, in in the real time, like are there anything else also comes as a job requirement apart from this? You know,
I mean, are you asking like, are there other cloud certification, or are you asking
yes,
about IT things?
related to IT. Like somebody has not just AWS, they also ask about Azure, need to come, and they also sometimes ask about DevOps and all. So
Mm-hmm.
my question is like, just by concentrating on this one, is it possible to land a job?
Okay, so if thing is like, nowadays we have multiple cloud providers. So some organization might be having a Amazon deployment, some might be using Microsoft for their cloud provider, and some might be going with IBM. So Microsoft has its own tools, and Microsoft 365 Office, it's like perfect for cloud office work. So people usually for office work go with the Microsoft and Amazon also. So if you ask about what is the best certification, no doubt Amazon is the best cloud certification. Amazon is the best cloud provider you can go with because they are the first most who entered in the market, and from that day onwards they have a very specific and strong grip onto the market, and they are providing good tools. So if you are focusing on Amazon now, let's say how easy it is to switch on Azure or IBM or Google Cloud. It is, let's say, if you have 100% knowledge of AWS, like concept, I'm not talking about now tools, concept. What are the concept? And like in router, in VPC, what is the concept? In storage, what is the concept? So if you know about the concept, it just like over here, if we are calling it a EC2, over here, if we are calling it a net gateway, in Google, we are just calling it something else. If we are calling it a block storage, maybe in Google, we are calling it something else. So it just a difference in name, concept are same. So I think within 1 to 3 week, you should be able to switch from Amazon to Google, but the concepts are the same, nothing else you should required. Only 2 3 months to make sure that you remember the name of Google product as Google product, not as the Amazon one, because the working is totally same. They are just cloud. uh, uh, okay, so why it is so, even though it's a good news for you, for us, because being a cloud engineer, we have a lot of range now, and we can work on any cloud. But it is happening so because like this case, it's because when Amazon come, each and every other companies like Google, Microsoft, they are not creating anything of their own. They are mostly copying Amazon. So they are copying or the service model, other tools, softwares. So they are copying most of the Amazon work, but they are also adding something. Uh, they have their technology, they have their own developers, they have their own intelligent personnel. So they are do adding something, but the concept, the working, they are catching that from the Amazon. So the working is totally same. So if you do this Amazon cloud, you are able to switch onto any cloud platform, Google, IBM, any. You don't have to worry about that. Only like 1 to 3 week, max to max 3 week might take for you to understand the names and the concept. But if your concept is clear, you don't have to do anything. Anything else, guys?
All right. Thank you for your effort, extra effort. Thank you.
No problem,
Oh,
guys. Yes.
all right. Thanks a lot for the explanation.
No
I
worries,
appreciate.
guys. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are getting each and everything that will help you to complete this course and have a good understanding of Amazon Web Services, because it will help you out. Cloud is a very vast concept, and it's a very big domain and many job opportunities. So be aware about the latest trend in cloud, latest tools, latest software, latest services, and check out their website on regular basis. So if you want to go and become a cloud engineer, this is the best time, because everyone is switching on the cloud, everyone is talking about cloud. And just check out for yourself. Don't take my words. You can go online and check what are the different IT fields and what are the booming IT fields. Cybersecurity, cloud computing, AI, prompt engineering, just name a few. AI and prompt engineering, they are the recent one. Cybersecurity, cloud computing, data science. These three been a very dominating job providers in IT field, in the technical field, because they are recently developing. And for cloud is still take 10 to 20 years to reach it, to reach it prime, to reach its prime. So till now we are still seeing many development in cloud. They are using AI now in cloud. So security tools, they are using AI. So there are lots of things coming in the IT network. So in IT world, keep yourself aware about just you can do one thing. There are simple way you can. There are some magazines, security magazine. There are some technical magazine. You can go and subscribe for them. There are research paper also. So if you want that, you should be available and updated with the information. So keep yourself busy, keep searching, keep exploring. So make sure that you are using all of the resources present online, and not only Amazon, but also other things that are related with IT, with network security, other things. So keep checking out, guys. That's it for today. So we have done recap, we have done today's topic. Any doubt, anything, please, you can let me know. Otherwise, note it out and you can let me know in other classes. So this is the last recap I have given. After this, there will be like very low chances of recap, because I think we have covered it a lot of time. So this is the last recap, and I am very thankful for all of you for staying and doing your best. Now, you guys, you can take some rest, and we will have a class session tomorrow. If you have doubt, please note them down and bring them up to me tomorrow. Okay.